Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about each concept for beginners, and we will be taking all the examples and we'll go deep down into each and every concept. So, before understanding what we mean by OOPS, let us first understand what is OOPS. Like whenever anyone starts programming. One word they hear everywhere is OOP or object-oriented programming, but many people directly jump into concepts like class, object, inheritance, and polymorphism without understanding why OOPs was even introduced in the first place. So before understanding OOPs concept, let's first understand the history of programming languages. So while talking about history of programming languages, in the beginning, developers used procedural programming languages as, but before procedural programming languages, what was used? So before procedural languages we were using, there were an era where let me show you with the help of the diagram. So, so in the beginning, when computer was started, so there was a language like you must have listened about uh, machine language. So what was machine language? Yeah, each and everyone knows that our machine or our computer reads the code or understand it doesn't understand this is written as machine and this is written as language or this is concept. It don't understand like these things. It only understand is 0 and 1. So if at that time if someone has to add two numbers, so they must have to change the number into binary and with the operator itself and with the another number. Let us take an example as so. This is the example when they were used to add two numbers. They were using this, but this was very problematic as no one can understand what does this mean. What is the actual conversation of this binary number into human understandable? So it was very difficult. So after that, they introduced assembly language. What was assembly language? Assembly language was they have introduced this language to make the computer understand what does human understandable languages are. Like for moving any file, they were using this this type of keywords. to add some number, some, one, and two. These were introduced as assembly language, but after that, this was also very problematic. We have to understand this keyword, we have to understand this keyword, and there were many keywords into this which we all have to understand. So after that, they found a solution as a procedural language. So what was procedural language? Procedural languages, they introduced many things into this language like functions, if else. If else was introduced in this assembly language as well. But in this, they introduced loops and many things. Like, for example, for procedural language, the best example which we take is C language. This was the very basic example of procedural language. For in procedural language, we were using like um, include stdio dot h, then void main, then print f x I am procedural. So this was using in a big picture, okay, and it was working into top to bottom approach. For example, if we define a function upside this, and we were using definition of a function, declaration of a function, calling of a function. We'll not be going deep down into this concept as procedural language, but this was the flow of working with procedural language. After that, when they get to know that these things are getting very problems, and uh, at the end we have to understand our code to the machine languages. So at that point, they introduced OOPS language or object oriented language. Okay, so as I told you, OOPS stands for object oriented programming, and it is a programming paradigm that organizes code using objects and classes. The main goal of OOP is reusability, scalability, maintainability, security, cleaner code structure. So before understanding the all concepts of object-oriented language, we first have to understand objects. You can take an example, each and everything into our real world scenarios. As object-oriented language was introduced because of real world examples, as everyone can understand what this language is for. And for this, they introduced as objects, though I told you that each and everything is an object. You, me, car, bike, laptop, screen, etc. Okay, these are all objects. So yes, I can understand that if we take example of car is also an object and it have multiple behaviors and characteristics which are objects in their own way. Like you break, you can say an object, a mirror, rear mirror, acceleration. These also objects. So after this, what was introduced, uh, we have understood what are objects. Okay, so an object is like, as I told you, it is a real world entity that contains properties and behaviors. For example, a car. Properties of car are color, brand, speed, and many more. And whereas behavior of car is it can start, it can stop, it can accelerate. So in programming, we represent real world things as objects. Hope you understand. If you, if you have any confusion into the video, you can just drop me a comment and or you can schedule on Google Meet with me on Sundays uh, in first half or second half. You just have to uh, go to the website and check into contact form. You can just schedule a Google Meet with me. So that will be better. After this, after understanding this object, next concept comes as classes. So now the question is, how do we create objects? That's where class come in. A class is basically a blueprint or a template for creating objects. As I told you while understanding the objects, like you, what my name is? My name is Akshar. Akshar can be a class, and let us not take my name. Let us take any car. So car can be a class, and what will be the okay? I have noted down here as well. What do objects have? So classes, can be a class. City can be a class. A human being, you, me, can be a class because we all have multiple properties and we have multiple behaviors into ourselves. Okay, so for example, imagine an architect creating a blueprint of a house. You must have seen people before building any house or property, they create a blueprint of the house, how the house will look like. Similarly, so using that blueprint, multiple houses can be created. Okay. Similarly, using one class, multiple objects can be created. For example, let us take an example for this. For example, we have created class cars. Okay. And this can have each and every class can have their own brand name, color, features, speed, etc. Okay, each car can have all these. So we created a common class for it as a car. And when we have to use this car class, we just have to create an object for this class as car e equal to new car. Okay, this is a this c is an object. Now, if we have to give a value to c, so c dot brand name can be Toyota or Tata or Mahindra or any other you can take Audi, Mercedes, etc. So if we use procedural language for all of these, we have to create functions or any other things, but or we have to take an array or whichever procedural language concepts are there because we have to use it. But after creating our class, we can change the properties and use the behaviors of a car by a single updation with a object. Okay, hope this is understand. Right? Now we can move forward to what do you mean by abstraction? So abstraction is uh, hiding unnecessary implementation details and showing only essential features is known as abstraction. Let me note it down here so that you can get this. I'll note it down. What do you mean by abstraction? Uh, so for help, for your help, we can note down what is class and what is object just for definition. Okay, I have written each and every definition with the examples here. So, we were discussing about abstraction. So, as I told you, hiding unnecessary implementation details and showing only essential features to the user is known as abstraction. For example, let me give you an example for abstraction. Each and every, each one of us have seen a car. So, if we talk about a car example only, then we just have to know about that car is what is the speed, um, airbags, acceleration, engine. So, okay. So in abstraction, if we take example of car, so we just need to have to understand what all things are into a class. So, but if we proceed down, we don't have to know the details or details implementation of any of this object. Like we don't have to know about the engines, how it works, or what all components do this uh, engine and how it is built. So each and everything shown into this, we don't need to have a clear image about this. You can see it as what all things are there, but we don't have to take care of how things are working. So this is of no use. Suppose you are going to drive a car and one day something clicked into your mind and you thought about that how engine is working. So you opened out the engine, okay, and while opening the engine you saw each and everything there. But it is of no use. You don't have to become a mechanic. You are a software engineer, aren't you? Haha. Okay, so this is known as encapsulation. So in Python or in any other languages, if we talk about so what are the examples of what all are the OOPS languages? So you just drop a comment and tell me what all languages are OOPS language. Okay, so if we take an example of Python, we don't have any class like anything inbuilt as Java and C++ or any other language about abstract keyword. So in Python we have ABS, ABC, uh, okay, and we have to import this. Okay, so for creating abstract class, how we help Python to understand what is if this class is our abstract class. So we will write class car and normally ABC. Okay, this makes the Python to understand. Okay, we saw ABC. Okay, then this class must be this class is Abstractions. Next concept which comes under the picture is encapsulation. Okay, so for understanding what is encapsulation, if you want to go deep down and watch another example for it, I'll pin a comment or add a video link to the description. I have taken complete around 6 to 10 minutes to understand only this encapsulation method. Okay, well, let's come back to the video and understand what encapsulation is. Encapsulation means wrapping data and methods together inside one unit and controlling access to the data. It's much confusing. Okay, let me give you an example. Each and every one have uh, seen this. What is this? This is a capsule. Okay, so each one have seen this. This is the capsule, and what does this capsule have? This capsule have properties, behavior, as medicine, salt. Each each and everything is inside this encapsulation, right, inside this capsule. But what matters to you is you have to take this capsule and just drink it with the water, and this capsule medicines will work accordingly after reaching to your stomach. Okay, so this is encapsulation. It behaves similar to a capsule. So encapsulation means this. This is the definition of encapsulation. Let me make it more clear to you so that it doesn't give you confusion. Okay, over capsule status here. Let us get inside this one. Okay, so hope this is understandable to you. Let us move all these under and understand what encapsulation is. Okay, so this is the definition of encapsulation. You can note it down and just make notes of what I am going to make you understand. Okay, so if we talk about encapsulation, which means wrapping up all the data and methods to a class inside a single unit and controlling access to the data. Okay, let us take an example of, mm, let us take example of tool by only. Okay, So what encapsulation is? Well, your school bag is having like pens, notebooks, books, lunch box, bottle. Okay. These things are inside your school bag. Let us cover it into a diagram so that it makes more understanding. Okay. But now what it comes is you can give access to each and every particular behavior or properties or function or methods with the variables. You can give access to each one of these. Suppose you give access as private, public, and protected. Okay, so these can be given as access. Like suppose let us understand public. So in Python, each and everything is public. In Python or each and every language which we are working, each and everything is public. Okay, so everything is accessible. Your parents, your teachers, your friends can access each and everything into your bag until and unless you provide any access to someone that you can only access this particular thing. Like your friends can access this button. No one else can access this button. Okay. And if we talk about private, uh, private means your lunchbox. You don't want your lunchbox to be eaten by anyone in the class. So what you make is lunchbox as a private keyboard, which can be only accessible to you yourself. Okay. And when we talk about pens, notebooks, or books, so it can be protected, which means you give a special access to someone that they can take permission from you and use that data type or use that function. Okay, so this is encapsulation. Uh, I think the video is much longer than it's already 33 minutes. So next concept is inheritance and polymorphism. Okay, so let us keep this on hold for our current scenario because it's already 35 minutes long video, which is much longer. I don't want to feed each and every concept deep down into you. Okay, so for this only, I am keeping this concept as on hold and we'll discuss this concept at next week. Now comes how you can connect with me. For connecting with me and asking your doubts, you can go to my website at event.in. On contact us page, you just have to book an appointment. Okay, and here you can schedule 30 minutes meeting with me. You just have to select any date. Suppose it's Sunday, today it is Sunday. Okay, you select today's date. Now you have to add some time, like 10. Okay, now you can enter your name and your email address. Okay, and Just write a description. What this meeting will be all about, so that I can come with the preparation and I have the glimpse of context of the meeting. Okay. After that, you can schedule this event and you will get a mail. Even I'll get a mail. So this will be easier for the both to understand how to work further and clear your doubts in much easier way. So thanks everyone. And if you have any confusion and also if you like the video, just hit a like button and please comment on videos. Okay. I need to know that what all concepts are clear to you and what all confusions you are facing so that we can understand the things in much better way. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye.